Hi everyone, today I want to talk about Enshrouded, why do I think it's good, and share my experience with about over 200 hours of game time. But before we get into that, a quick shout out to my Twitch, twitch.tv/Vahlkor. I like to play a variety of game types and genres, so if you want to play, come hang out and chat with me while we play these games live, come on over to Twitch and I'll see you there. Alright, when Enshrouded released into early access back in January, I was hooked, sinking about 40 hours into the game. Even though it was like the early access release window and they didn't have as much content, I was impressed with how expansive the world felt in its RPG systems. Not only that, over time, things have gone even better because so far there have been 4 major content updates adding new biomes to explore, massive dungeons called Hollow Halls, more NPCs to rescue that will make your village feel more alive, animal husbandry, and a dynamic weather system. And also they added a snowy mountain region with a new endgame boss, which in my opinion is the best one yet. So let's start with the basics. Enshrouded is a open world survival crafting adventure game. With that comes the expected survival crafting loop where you start with nothing and little by little you accumulate resources as you are out completing quests in order to progress your character and the story of the world. You'll encounter cities, camps, caves, dungeons, which then you will need to explore in order to complete quest objectives, sometimes finding NPCs, which will then grant you the ability to craft better weapons and armor, as well as food items to save off hunger and give you bonus stats. On top of that, progression of your character revolves around a skill tree where it allows you to specialize into kind of like the fantasy type roles that you are used to, like wizard, ranger, warrior, there's a healer, and there's a few more that you can kind of specialize in. This is why when I played the game for the first time, I was like, oh my god, I really enjoy this. I can basically build a character how I want and go out and adventure, gather resources, and continue on. It was very satisfying. But let's jump into update number 1, which was the Hollow Halls. These are massive dungeons in every biome. They are packed with a lot of enemies and puzzles to complete. At the end of each one of these, you'll either encounter a boss, rescue an NPC, and get your material or your quest item for that region, and that NPC will then unlock new crafting items, cosmetics, and stuff like that for your village build, basically. And as I mentioned, there is one of these dungeons in every single biome. They took me anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe in an hour, to complete one of them. And I thought it was a pretty cool addition to the game. Then we move on to update number 2. This is the Medley of the Mires, and they added a new region called the Black Mire. This is a swamp region. The update includes new musical instrument, a new NPC with a new quest line. They also added new weapon types in the form of dual blades, which will work very well with my archer build as it's a dexterity based weapon. And they added transmog for basically every piece of gear that you have, along with a lot of class balancing and stuff like that, which there's probably a lot to kind of like mention in just one place, but I'm sure you can probably find the patch notes if you want to. After update 2, we have update 3. This is Back to the Shroud. This update added custom difficulties and more class balancing improvements, as well as have a lot of QOLs, like quality of life improvements. I ended up making a custom rule set for this new playthrough, where I reduced the amount of grinding time I needed to stockpile on materials and just focus on exploring more, and I was able to stockpile very quickly compared to the base drop rate that you get on the game. But overall, the update was mostly focused on quality of life. Finally, we have Soul of the Frozen Frontier. This is the last update they've released so far. This adds an entirely new biome with a new region, and this region, by the way, is my favorite so far. It's such a massive biome, and it's all with all its verticality. It's a lot of mountains, a lot of snow, a lot of places where you can jump down and glide from one place to another. And in order to progress through this region, you'll need to use your grappling hook and some updrafts that there's around the map, but as well you'll need to have cold resistance. They added a new mechanic here with the extreme cold weather. You'll need to have new gear, new food that increases your cold resistance so that it increases the time that you can be out exploring while gathering resources and completing quests. The cold mechanic adds kind of like the shroud mechanic in a way, where you are limited to the amount of time on the shroud. It's kind of the same thing here with the cold. You have a limited amount of time where you can explore, and as you get more cold resistance with better gear and food, then you're able to explore for a longer period of time on that region. So what do I think of Enshrouded overall? Quite frankly, Enshrouded has become probably my favorite crafting survival game of this year. And this is comparing it to all the other crafting games I play. I do think Enshrouded has its own legs to stand on. It just doesn't do the same formula like all the other games do, but it also adds to it with the emphasis on the fantasy RPG or adventure settings or quests that you get. I enjoyed every minute exploring, gathering resources, and just kind of like seeing what's in there, exploring the map, and being able to complete all these quests. And I am also looking forward to the next update. I don't know where they will go from here. Where we were playing, I noticed there was like some islands in the sky, and I was thinking maybe at some point they'll have an update where we go to those islands and explore them using the glider or other mechanics to be able to fly up there, because they're very high. There's no way to reach them, I don't think, at this point. I was able to customize my character to however I wanted to play. I was not locked into one thing. If I wanted to change from an archer to a warrior, I could do that easily. Same with being a mage and all those things. I always kept a variety of weapons with me just in case I needed like to heal. I could use my staff and stuff like that. But overall, I highly recommend Enshrouded. I think if you are looking for a game that allows you the freedom to explore at your own pace and complete quests and objectives without having to follow a specific path, I think Enshrouded delivers a very good package here. The combat can feel a little, not stale, but a little samey. However, the game exploration more than make up for it. I don't think... If you're a survival crafting fan, I don't think you can go wrong with Enshrouded. But I guess that's for everybody to decide. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's short. I know it's not like a super produced video, but I just kind of wanted to have a little talking head and get my thoughts out there. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will see you all on stream if you decide to check it out. And yeah, I don't know what we'll play next, but we still got a lot to do in Enshrouded. We still need to build some stuff. So if you want to see that, twitch.tv/Vahlkor. I'll see you next time.